Your landscaping website isn't getting you leads. And it usually just comes down to two different things. Either nobody can find it, or the few people that do just leave. And most landscapers pour everything into how the site looks and ignore both of these factors. I'm going to show you both live on a real site, starting with the one quietly costing you the most. Nobody can find it. You paid for your website, maybe a lot. And right now, for most landscapers, it is sitting there like basically a billboard in the desert. Nobody's driving by, nobody's seeing it. It might look good to you, but nobody's seeing it, and obviously you're not getting any leads, and that's why you're here. A site that no one finds and no one acts on isn't really an asset. It's basically a brochure that you paid for a lot once, and you're probably paying for the host amongst other things. Let me use a real company site to show you exactly what I mean. So in 2026, here's what a lot of landscapers have backwards. So for local businesses especially, your website isn't the thing that gets you found. For 70% of leads we're seeing, Google Business Profile is the main attraction, doing the heavy lifting. So somebody searches paver patios near me, Google shows the map first, 3 businesses, and most of the clicks, again, 70% go right there. So your website's job is to back that profile up and basically help rank it. So there's 3 fixes that I can go through today. I've searched for paver patio Bellevue. You can see the map at the top, 3 companies. That is where 70% of leads are going right now. So your site has to reinforce this. The same business name, address, and phone everywhere. And of course, your Google Business Profile linking to your website, and every service on your Google Business Profile that you've listed, every category and main search should have its own page on the website itself. You're wanting your Google Business Profile to mirror exactly what your website is saying, and vice versa. Now, your site has to reinforce this. And it's not necessarily what a lot of people think, where they assume that the most reviews will get to the top of the Google Maps searches, when in reality, reviews don't actually help you rank. What does help you rank is, let's say you have less than 10 reviews. That's not going to allow you to get ranked by Google in the Google Maps section. But once you're past the 10 review mark threshold, basically I've been able to rank you or clients in the Google Map pack, but what really moves the needle is getting more reviews, which help people click on your Google Business Profile. So another thing to note with reviews with rich keywords or locations are going to do a lot better than getting a bunch of reviews that talk about good service and good communication. I would ask customers that appreciate the job that you've done by asking them to talk about their patio and what neighborhood that they live in. This is going to help your Google rankings for those specific services. So I'm going to take a look at this website that I am not related to in any way. It's just as an example. If I come to this website, the first thing that I'm noticing, even before I touch any of the optimization or the local search, I'm seeing the call to action is to learn more about our work. So they do have buttons at the top for getting a free estimate, calling now. Someone's going to have to look up here, and you should have a clear call to action of how to reach out. If someone's interested and they're ready to move forward, there should be some way to get in contact, especially a contact form. So the other thing is it's not clear on where they work. So this company is not ranking in the Google Map Pack, and one of the easiest ways to tell why is they don't have their location listed on the homepage. So if we look at their metadata, the title, which is what people see when they do a Google search, this is what's going to show up. Their brand name, Buddha Builders, and then Eastside Seattle Luxury Outdoor Living. So I would probably go with Seattle, just rank for that keyword of the location. Eastside Seattle does give Google some context of where you operate, but not that many people are going to be looking up Eastside Seattle. They're more likely to look up Seattle or one of the suburbs. Another thing to note here is luxury outdoor living. So when someone is looking to renovate their yard, renovate their property, they're not necessarily going to be looking at luxury outdoor living. They may be looking up, there's no indicator as to a business that is focused on creating those spaces. So luxury living could mean apartment buildings or it could be a real estate keyword is what I'm trying to say. There's no clear context to Google as to you are a company that builds the backyards. And these key terms don't really have much search volume for what you're looking for. So there needs to be a clear indicator to Google, like pavers or retaining walls or interlocking pavers that makes it clear what the search should be. The one thing this website gets correct is having service pages. So a lot of websites are just going to have the website, list of services, and it doesn't provide Google with landing pages dedicated to the services in the area. So you want your website to, again, reflect the Google business profile and talk about the different services and categories of what you're doing as a hardscaper or a landscaper. So this site is doing this at least properly. So if we click in on here, paver patios, you have paver patio contractors. So one thing you can always look at is the URL. How is this structured? So paver patio contractors, it doesn't say Seattle in here, right? So if we look at the title, so this looks good. Paver patio contractors in Seattle, Washington. Paver patio builders. So having that in there twice is probably not the best. I would keep it at paver patio contractors or builders, and then in Seattle, Washington, and then have something in there that would entice someone to trust you or click on the link, such as something simple, 5-star rated or 20 years in business, something like that could establish trust. You can see in the description, there's no talk of the location again. And we can look at the headers. The H1, the most important tag on the page, should have one on every single page that you want to rank. Paver patio contractors, nothing about Seattle. So, and if you even look at the rest of the headings here, you do have greater Seattle area for over 20 years in Seattle, but not in the H1 where it should be the most important part of the website, of the page. And the word count is pretty good at 1,300 in this video. They also have their services all listed from the heading. So if we look at here, now we have another page that says Seattle Paver Contractors. So we have two competing pages, one that says Seattle Paver Contractors, and then one it was just Paver Contractors, I believe. So if we look here, we have pavers and hardscaping, top rated paver contractor in Seattle, Washington. So these are two completely different pages competing against each other, which what we call is cannibalism. So page cannibalism, keyword cannibalism. There's two pages that are targeting the same keyword, the same area, and not a lot to differentiate each other. So this is most likely a mistake, and you would have to delete one of them, see which one's performing the best, and redirect the old, not so well performing one. This website is trying to do search optimization, but there's just things that it's falling short. And that's why if we take a look at even just the href, if you look at href traffic checker, you can do a quick for free check on like, what is your website getting traffic for? So they are getting some traffic, 100 organic traffic per month, but you can check. They've been making blogs. So blogs, most contractors like blogs due to waste of time, which I would agree with in a lot of ways. So if we click on what this website is getting most of its traffic from, 42. It's not a lot, but we can take a look at what is this page and why is it getting the most traffic on the website. So we can take a look. Innovative ideas for using modern pavers in your landscape design. So this is your stereotypical run-of-the-mill blog, and it doesn't even mention Seattle one time in the entire blog. If we do a search of the key term, you have recent posts that talk about Seattle. You have recent posts that talk about Seattle for swimming pools, but nothing in this actual post. So this basically has no meaning. Whoever's landing on this page could be from across the country, could be from a different country, but none of these people are looking specifically at Seattle. It doesn't give Google context as to your real business so a different way to, I don't know if I would write a blog like this for a client, but innovative ideas for using modern pavers in your landscape design. So maybe instead of writing a blog about this, we would write it as how should I use modern pavers on my property in Seattle. So on the spot, thinking very simply, that gives Google your building topical authority around pavers, which gives Google more trust to promote your paver patio or paver driveway service pages in Google Maps, but you're also giving local context. So giving Google more context as to where you're operating and more trust that you know about Seattle and the different conditions you have to work with when doing pavers. So most likely the people showing up to this blog are not going to be buyers, which is a waste of time. So as you build out these service pages, we got to make sure that it's mapped out properly as well in terms of interlinking. So Google offers paver contractor or paver as a primary category on the Google Business profile. So having paver as one of your category pages to reflect the Google Business or the GBP is the way you should do this. Meaning, if you have a category page, it basically means it's a hub page, and it should be one of your primary focus pages, and it should have links, and it should link out to other service pages. So if you're a paver contractor, you should link to the paver patio page and or the paver driveway page or walkway, anything else that you do use pavers for in your builds. And if you're scrolling down through this page, you're going to notice that it's not linking to any other page, except for, of course, get a quote, which is good to have, but you need to connect pages. Basically, you're showing Google how your website is built and what pages are the most important. So this page is linked to from the home page, and it's not linking anywhere else. It's not even linking to any, for example, blogs. If you have frequently asked questions, you can get this from Google by just looking up paver patio or paver build, something like that. You can get what people reference as frequently asked question. So if you search something paver patio installation, you can scroll down to people also ask, and you have stuff like how much does a 20 by 20 paver patio cost DIY. So this isn't a really good question to answer, because you don't want to get people that are doing DIYs. Can I install a paver patio myself? I would say you could answer a question like that on the website and compare why you should or why you shouldn't and the pros and cons. But again, you would want to put in Seattle as the location modifier. How much should I charge to install a paver patio? You can flip that and just say, how much does a paver patio cost to install in Seattle? So you can keep opening these up and see what people are asking. How much would a 12 by 12 paver patio cost in Seattle? Things like this. So answering these questions and putting them on your paver patio page. So this is a good question. Answering this question like this, and then linking to a blog, answering a question like this in a short 1 or 2 sentences, and then linking to a blog that goes more in depth as to the cost and what brings up the cost, what can lower the cost, what goes into building, and like how your company does it differently is going to help your paver or paver patio website increase in ranking the page itself, as well as the Google Business profile, and you will see boosts in AI ranking as well. So this is going to build topical authority and location authority, which is the two most important things in search in 2026. So all the tools that I'm using in this video are completely free. I obviously have other tools. I have paid tools that I connect to Claude and do backlink analysis, keyword analysis, but just for the purpose of this video, if you don't have any of these plans, you can check what your competitors have for backlinks, or at least some of these backlinks. So let's check what that website had for backlink. So backlinks are going to be extremely important for ranking your website. You can have the SEO correct, you can have it looking amazing, and the conversion set up properly and optimized. And when no one else is talking about you, no other websites are referencing you, you're not being mentioned in any other directories or anything like that, you're going to have a hard time ranking because Google's not going to trust you. So you can take a look at what your ranking competitors have just by using something like Ahrefs. So if we look here and you can go through, you want to find ones that look legit. Of course, there's going to be spam that usually shows up by accident. It's just spam that gets directed at the page. You don't really have to worry about that. You can ignore that for most part. So you can scroll through and click and see which ones can you sign up for. Can you reach out to those websites and see if you can get featured on their page. Things that are going to help you rank way better than your competitors is not focusing on random blogs, not focusing on necessarily expensive features in big articles that are national or global, but focusing on your area. So finding what citations are location specific or niche specific. Signing up for your local chamber of commerce is going to go a lot further than listing yourself in low quality backlinks or citations. As much as they worked 10, 15 years ago, they don't work as well today. So you want quality over quantity. And once people actually show up on your website, you really only have a couple chances, if not one chance, to convert them and build trust. So on this website, they have photo put in the hero section, but it's super dark. It's not super obvious what they did for the project if it looks great. So having photos, having before and after photos very clearly, ones where you can slide, it's interactive. It's going to show Google that people are interacting with your website. It shows trust. It's not like generic photos. This is going to be huge for, it is huge for hardscapers because it's all visual. So having your website be visual in this case is do or die. Because one person can convert into a $30,000 job, they can convert into a $100,000 job. And then you want to make it super easy for them to find what to do next. So we talked about having this here, learn about our work. If someone wants to just go right to contacting you, we want to make it easier, especially if they're going to land on, let's say your paver page is ranking. There's no button here to click to contact you. There is a form down the side, which is smart, but having something clear call to action right away is going to make a bigger difference than most landscapers think. And the last thing you want is a website that looks like everybody else's, and it doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be high converting and show up on Google, show up in AI. And then once people are here, you need to prove to them that you are the ones that they should work with. So this comes down to showing the team, showing the owner. So you yourself should record a video, tell them what they should expect once they click get a free estimate. So when people click get a free estimate, they come to pages like this, right? There should be someone here with a video telling them what they should expect. Are they going to get spammed with a bunch of text or emails? Are they going to be waiting 4 days to hear back from you? Should they expect? You should break down a video telling them, I will be in touch with you, and then within 12 hours, we will schedule a quote. You should walk them through how you work, how your team works, what to expect, and what to do next, and how long they will be waiting. This is going to increase your conversion rate from very average to above your competition. I guarantee you're not going to see any at all that are doing this strategy, and this is going to help you stand out in the long run. So that's kind of the bird's eye view of why your website isn't getting leads. There is two main factors. One, no one's finding your website, and then the second one is if they are, they don't trust it enough to reach out to you about a project. This is a big decision, and you have to make it easy for them. Make it a no-brainer to reach out. If you want me to do this with your website, find why you're invisible, or why, if people are coming to your website, why they're not converting, drop a message in the comments and I will make a video for you. So